While the former president's third indictment takes center stage, the race for 2024 continues. A New York Times-Siena College poll has Donald Trump with a 37-point lead over Florida Governor Ron DeSantis among the Republicans that were polled for that survey. For more on this, I am joined by CBS News political director Fin Gómez. Fin, it's great to be with you. We talked about this just a little bit with Amanda, but what effect, if any, do you think this indictment will have on the president, and might it very well be to help him in his standing in the party?
Politically, yes. I mean, that's the trajectory that we are seeing. I was also in Iowa at the Lincoln Day dinner with Amanda, and you saw that. You saw this, speaking to Iowa voters there, Iowa caucus goers and some of the state leadership, they just, to them, it's these investigations are politically motivated. They buy into that line, that thinking from Trump and his campaign that this is politically motivated, calculated by the Biden administration, and his support has only grown. I spoke to an advisor to Trump just a little while ago, and he predicted that his polling numbers will only go up among Republican voters.
An ally of Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Congressman Massey, said, jokingly, but with some truth in it, what the governor needed to improve his chances was to get indicted. Making the joke that to your point you just made, that has been helping the president. Is it also keeping the story away from any other candidate? In other words, to gain stature in the polls, you need oxygen. Right. And these stories are taking all the oxygen out of the race.
Oh, yeah, there is no oxygen at this point. I mean, Nikki Haley, one of Trump's rivals and his former UN ambassador when he was president, said as much. DeSantis also this past week in New Hampshire said as much, that that this is essentially taking away all, absorbing these investigations, absorbing all the headlines, absorbing all the air and oxygen, as you said, and to talk about other issues or issues that are key to Republican voters is almost it's just not occurring.
Is there any talk of? I mean, some people have written about this. Rich Lowry of the National Review, a number of other columnists on the Republican side or on the conservative side have said the Republican Party is more tightly wrapping its arms around a candidate who is not going to be able to win in the general election. Is that argument being used by anyone successfully? Is it even in the conversation? And if so, is anybody listening to that?
It is. Actually, Nikki Haley on Face the Nation earlier this week said that, said essentially that that once, and also again, Ron DeSantis, that you are hearing it more, that once, if Donald Trump becomes a nominee again, and if he clears the primary and ends up as the nominee once again, he will be in the middle of these trials. It will be in the middle. It will be just right after the main crux of these early primary contests and Super Tuesday. And if he is the nominee, he's right in the middle of these trials. And what else? And the focus will be on that. And it's a much. The assumption it's going to be a much different landscape when it gets to that point of the race if he becomes that. But if you see that the New York Times-Siena poll, that same one, more of it came out today showing it was a head-to-head matchup with President Joe Biden, and they both have high negatives as well, and they both have trouble with independents. But it's head-to-head. It's tied.
Final question, Fin. Money. Lawyers cost, and former President Trump has been paying for some of it out of his political action committee. Is any of that a problem either legally or just is he going to have the cash that he needs to run for president while he's using some of it to defend himself?
I think more the latter. I mean, you think about it politically, you need money for grassroots operations, for canvassing, for ads, all these things. And that is also, I mean, the money, the millions, the tens of millions of dollars that's being spent in these legal costs, they aren't going to those crucial building blocks when it comes to a presidential campaign. It's going to to his legal fees, completely unprecedented.
Fin Gómez, CBS News political director. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, John.